Hello everybody and welcome to Mobility. So first things first actually, don't forget to start your tracker because if you don't track it doesn't count, does it? Very cool down. So for today's mobility session, I was going to make it fairly short. If you've done one of my projects before, you'll remember on the last one, I made a really short one, like 6-7 minutes one actually on the last one. This is going to be around about 10 minutes. The main reason being, I find if mobility isn't short, people don't do it. So ideally, I would love it if you did sort of like 15 to 20 minutes, 2-3 times a week maybe. But in reality, if you're doing 10 minutes, brilliant. You don't need any equipment at all for this one, so I've just got space around me. We're going to start with lower body, a lot of, but we're going to do some twisting through the spine as well to get a little bit of mobility in there. And yeah, basically go from there. So what I would like you to do, take a lie down, and I just want you to bring left foot flat on the floor, and just reach the right leg up, and just pull it in towards you. Just get a little stretch through the hamstring, and just ease it in there. I'm just going to hold that for like 10-15 seconds. Nice. Now, I've spoken before about that comfortably uncomfortable feeling. So finding the point where you just have to squeeze in. It feels like you want to release, but you're not gonna. You're gonna hold it. And then bring the ankle on the opposite knee onto the left leg. Reach through the triangle between your legs, grab the back of your left leg and squeeze it in. So you'll feel now a stretch through the right glute, maybe the hamstring a little bit as well if you feel particularly tight in the hamstrings. So just going to do first couple, just kind of get muscles stretched out a little bit. I find best time to do a mobility workout like this as well is straight after quite a high intensity workout, where you really need a good stretch afterwards. Nice. And then just release that left leg and the right leg. Grab hold of the right knee and just pull it into your stomach so you get a stretch deep down around this muscle called the piriformis, right around the hip. And then from there, grab the right knee and just pull it over to the left hand side, keeping the shoulder blades flat on the floor. So we get a little rotation through the spine. Now you might feel tightness either down the back, also in that right glute a little bit as well, perhaps even in the right pec. 2. Just hold it there for like 15-20 seconds. Nice. And swap the other side, so bring it back to central. Place the right foot on the floor, grab the back of the left leg, and squeeze it in towards you so you feel it stretch down the left hamstring now. I'm just going to hold it in there, similar to before, just 15-20 seconds. Nice. And if you squeeze in a little further, it's a bit like I did then. I found myself kind of going, letting the leg relax a little bit, whereas in fact I just need to get that squeeze, just to get a deeper stretch in the hamstring. Just make ourselves work a little bit harder, really. Pop the ankle on the opposite knee, reach through, grab the back of the right thigh, squeeze it in so you get a stretch in the right glute, the left glute, and perhaps the hamstring a little bit now. Similar again, 15-20 seconds. And release the right leg. Just grab hold of the left knee, just squeeze it in towards the stomach. Keeping the right leg out straight. So you feel a stretch deeper down, right in that left hip. Nice, now just release the tension a little bit. Pull the left knee over to the right hand side. Get that rotation through the spine. Perhaps with the glute a little as well. So I call it a nice stretchy Friday. Well, it's Saturday for me. Last week, obviously. I can't time travel yet. Let's bring it back to start, guys. So now, if you just bring yourself up and over onto your front, so we're going to go into a hurdle stretch. So like sit up about 90 degrees at the right knee, 90 degrees at the left knee. Turn the chest so the chest is over that front knee. So you've got one hand near your ankle, the other hand on the outside. Quite often when people do this, they'll bring themselves out here. I want you here. Lift the chest like you're pushing it out and then tip forwards into it. And you'll find that way you'll get a much deeper stretch doing it like that rather than just leaning forwards into it. So it's all about kind of like the shape of the pelvis and where the muscles sit around the pelvis. If we push the chest out, it tilts the pelvis a little bit. So when we lean into it, you get a much deeper stretch in the glute without actually having to go any further. It's like the stretching equivalent of, it's not what you lift, it's how you lift it. Like you don't always need to go heavier with the weights, you can control tempo, you can have pauses in there. So much more to it than just going big and heavy. Nice, and then swapping over. So bringing left leg round to the front, opposite leg goes around the back. One hand near the ankle, one hand on the outside, push the chest out and lean forwards into it. So if you can't feel it, sometimes you just need to adjust that position of that front leg a little bit, push the chest forwards and then lean into it. And it could also be you might have one leg that's tighter than the other leg, which is normal, but if you can't feel it at all, it might just mean a position or a technique adjustment. Nice guys, release, come out of it. I'm just going to do one more each side. So bringing up leg round to the front, 90 degrees at each. One hand near the ankle, one hand on the outside of the knee. Try not to get cramp in your glute like I just did. Lean forwards into it, that push out in the chest for a stretch deep down around glute max. Just hold it there. I'm just going to hold it for about 15 to 20 seconds. Nice, release. One more on the other side, switching around, swinging the legs around. Set your hands up, chest pushes out, lean forwards into it. I feel like I'm walking myself a bit closer and closer to the camera. I'll move back in a second. If it kind of looks like I've just got my nose on the camera screen now. I don't know how zoomed in it is. Nice, about 5-10 more seconds. Nice guys, punch these out right there. Now just sit back into child's pose. So sit back on the heels, take the knees apart, so they're kind of a V shape between your legs. Lean forwards into it, reaching the hands down the mat or down the floor, whatever you're on. So the reason we take the knees apart is just so you can drop your stomach down, it gives you a little bit of space to lean down into it. Creep the fingers forwards a little further. Just holding it there. Nice. Now sweep the hands round to the right hand side so you get a fuller stretch through the left lat now and left shoulder blade. And sweeping around to centre, reaching forwards again. And reaching round to the left this time. And back to centre. Nice guys, bring it up. So now we're going to go into one called frog pose, which is one of my least favourite because I probably just need to do it more. So this time, knees in a similar position, maybe in slightly, out slightly, sorry. Turn the feet out, so you're kind of in a frog kind of pose. And I just want you to sit the hips back, walking the hands back. So you feel that stretch deep, deep down in the hips. And it is really uncomfortable. So if I come this way around, knees are apart, feet turn out a little bit. Just going to walk the hands back, sit back into it. I'm not going to look at the camera because you'll see the weird faces I'm putting in because this really hurts, which generally means I've got to do more of it. And ease out there. Just take a second. Or maybe I need to take a second. And we'll do the same again. So knees out, toes out, sit back into it, just 15-20 seconds. Just steadily trying to roll a little bit further back. And come out with it. Nice guys. Just give yourself a second. Does it hurt everyone else as much as it hurts me? Or is it just me? Now we're going to do a similar kind of inner thigh stretch, but this time, come onto your knees and then stick one leg out to the side so you're in this position here. Squeeze the leg a little further out so you feel a stretch at that inner thigh. So I've got my right leg out at the moment. You can feel a stretch right at the inside of that inner thigh. I'm just going to hold it there. Now sometimes you might need to find you lean forwards or lean backwards just to deepen that stretch a little bit and try and push the foot over so you can push it onto the sole of the foot. going to hold there and then switch over legs. So rocking over to the other side, other leg goes out, finding that sweet spot so you get a stretch on that inner thigh. Steadily going forwards and backwards, finding where you need it. Nice guys, and swapping over legs, opposite leg comes out. Holding there. Again, just about 15 seconds. Excuse me. Nice guys, and then rolling back over to the side. Found one here. Nice guys, and bring it in. So the last couple of bits. This one is, I usually find that blokes are worse at this than women, which is usually the case with most stretching things. But it sounds silly, but it's the soles and the balls of your foot. So what I like you to do is just come onto your toes on your feet and just push back into it. So you kind of flex the toes as much as possible. I often find a lot of people just wear kind of really solid shoes. It just doesn't allow the feet or the toes to move around much. Nice, and then just turn around under so you kind of go the other way. And then bring it back forwards again. And turn the other way. Just hold in there. Nice guys, and release. Good news is you can have a lie down again. So just turn onto your back, pop your feet flat on the floor. Now I just want to bring the elbows to around level with the chest with the hands pointing upwards. From there, just let the hands drop backwards. So you feel a nice stretch across the chest, maybe in the shoulders slightly, just depending on where you feel the most tight. Just going to hold it there for 15-20 seconds, come out with it, and then do it one more time. Nice, bring it up, just release the tension a little bit, just 5 seconds. And then come back again. As you sit there in it, just take a few deep breaths. So kind of big inhale. Hold at the top. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Same again. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. This time for 7. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just keep rolling through that, just a couple more. Nice guys, bring the arms back over. When you're ready, just bring it seated. And we are done. A little bit over, I was hoping for about 10 to 12 minutes there, it's actually about 13, 14 minutes. But yes guys, I will, what are we on today? Friday technically. I will see you Monday for next week's workouts. Anyway, have a lovely week, and I'll see you next week. Take care, bye bye.